Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to Ian Garry up against Darian Weeks at UFC 273 this weekend. Ian, it's been a pleasure going back and watching your old Cage Warriors fights and seeing your rise. Do you feel it now every day that you're that something special is happening for you?
I mean, I felt something special was happening before I joined MMA, just purely off energy alone. Now it's just I get to go out there and do it. I get to go out there and have fun and do what I love most, which is just beating another man at what we do. It's just showing someone that I'm better than them and that they're not good enough to beat me. 1 second. Sorry, just got a call there. Turn it off. Layla, can you take my phone and ring Rich and then just tell him we're busy? My nutritionist is calling me to check my weight, to check how I am, to see how I'm feeling. So it's okay that he rings. That shows he's doing a good job. For me, I get to go in there on Saturday night and prove how good I am and show what I did best. It's like I have fun inside that octagon. And when I was a kid, I dreamt of being there, and now I'm here. Do you know what I mean? I'm wearing the branding. I'm in the UFC fighter hotel. I'll weigh in tomorrow. I'll rehydrate. I'll refuel. Saturday night, I get to go have fun. I've got a fucking plane of Irish people coming over to support me, and I can do nothing but just put on a show and have fun.
It was surreal watching you read out that letter from your mum when you decided just to go all in on MMA. I think, my mum would not have gone for it either. What was that like for you, and how important is it, your own belief throughout this whole process?
So obviously I was like an 18-year-old kid who didn't want to do what I was being kind of pushed to do, if that makes sense. Like, my mom only wanted the best for me. She only wanted me to succeed. She only wanted what she believed was how I would have the best life, which would be go to college, get a degree, get a job, then you'll be able to get a good mortgage, you'll be able to show all that. That's not for me. That's not the type of person I am. I can't do that. So I didn't speak to them. Like, hence the letter, right? She showed me her opinion on this piece of paper. And the whole point of it was, I don't want your opinion. I want you to listen to me. I want you to be behind me, to understand that I've made my life decision. And if this is the worst decision that I've ever made in my life, and it puts me 4 years behind everyone else in getting a degree, then I've wasted 4 years of my life. That's it. Do you know what I mean? It's not a long time when you think of the length of your life. I've wasted 4 years trying to get to somewhere where I wanted to be, where I dreamt of being. And guess what? It's worked out. So,
well, I was going to ask,
what
was the verdict after MSG, knockout, UFC debut? What's the verdict back home with the family and your mates and all that?
I think MSG was a kick in the teeth for them. I think that was the karma for the letter. It's like, oh, Ian's fighting his UFC debut at the most historical fight venue on the planet, but you're not allowed to go because of COVID. And it was like, so I fought on the 6th of November. The UK and Irish borders opened to go to America on the 8th of November. So I think that was karma playing a little trick on someone just because of the letter, which is funny. Obviously, it's behind us now. It's been a long time ago, but karma still comes back and bites people a little bit. It just reminds you that she's there. But no, look, my mom doing what she did out of love and care and worry, but she is more than 100% behind me now. Yeah, but she's literally on a plane. They sent me a picture of them in the airport this morning, getting ready to go on a plane. They land tonight, and they're all going to be here now on the weekend.
Awesome. I had the pleasure of interviewing Gilbert a week or so ago. He said it's just a massive time for the gym, yourself fighting as well. And, Bellator coming up.
We've got 3 guys on, yeah. Got 3 guys happening.
I speak to Onglar a lot because I'm out in Asia. What's it like just training with all those killers? You've just got some brilliant characters in that gym. What's it been like for you?
Do you know what, dude? It's been a breath of fresh air to be surrounded by so many guys that have so many different, like they've had so many different rearings. Like, they've grown up in all different ways of life, have all kind of found themselves to this one gym, right? You've got different cultures, different races, everyone's there. And it's just to see the opinion, the hard work, to see their mindset, to see how the gym just combines as one big family and everybody cares about everybody. Everyone wants everyone to win. And it's just like, there's a massive team respect and team camaraderie. And it's like Gilbert Burns is the #2 welterweight in the world. And he sat there in the hall the other day and said to me, I'm coming to your fight early. I'm going to get on the bus with you so I can see your fight. And I'm like, shit, that's cool. I remember sitting at home with my mates on a couch eating pizza, watching Gilbert Burns fight Kamaru Usman. Like, I remember watching that going, shit, I'll be there one day. Now he's telling me, he sat outside in the fighter hotel telling me he's coming on my bus with me so he can watch me fight. Do you know what I mean? It's awesome. Like, there's obviously massive egos in the gym, none bigger than mine. But it's so much like care. Like, they genuinely care for each other, which is massive, because it's like all these guys want to be the best. They all want to succeed. And that it's works from the top down, all the way from like Henry and the elite fighters, all the way down to someone who just walks through the door. Everyone gets respect. And like, no one will lie to you. Everyone will tell you it's how it is. Like, everyone will say, like, this is a tough fight. You've got a tough fight. You've got to do this. You've got to do that. They're not going to lie to you. But they'll help you. They'll do everything they can to help you. And the rest is on you. Do you know what I mean? No one else goes into that cage and fights for me, or fights for Gilbert, or fights for Mickey. We do everything we can to help each other get to that point. The coaches do everything. But when we get in there, go for it. We'll be behind you the whole way.
You said you're here to take over. I think, was it outside the sauna you bumped into Khamzat with Gilbert? I know that you kind of, at the moment, it's about helping your teammate, right? But he's here to take over also. So is it in the back of your mind that, you know, he's waiting for there down the road? Have you sized him up at all? Like, is he as good as people say, do you think?
Who, Khamzat? Yeah, I think he's as good as people think he is. I think he's shown that. Yeah, last night we done a sweat and we done a workout in the room. So Khamzat and Till and all the boys from All Star were down the hall. We were down in our room working. We all kind of went back. Me and Gilbert went down to the room, and Gilbert said, where's the official scales? And I was like, down there, I'll go with you. And he's like, no stress. I'll just say, I was like, let's go. I was like, plus, I seen them there. I'm not having a full team of them, and you be on your own. I'm going with you. And then it was like perfect time, and we both walked around the corner at the same time. They both, but the groups. And Khamzat was like, oh, straight away. And Gilbert just put out a big smile on his face. He was like, yes, here we go. And then they just got into a little bit of an engagement together, a little bit of chat. And it was very funny. Khamzat said he wants to fight naked. I was like, I'm fucking game. Don't ask for a fight and expect me not to yap back. Down the line, me and Khamzat are absolutely going to fight. Down the line, I think obviously he's way further ahead in his career than I am as of right now. I mean, he's the number 11th ranked welterweight, but realistically, he's not. I mean, he should be ranked in the top 5, but the only reason he's not is purely just due to fights. He hasn't had enough fights to be ranked in the top 5. But when it comes to skill set and technical ability, I think he's of that level. But he's fighting Gilbert Burns, right? So like, now we get to see how good he really is, because Gilbert's a machine of a man. That guy is special. I mean, he could very well be the welterweight champion of the world right now. Like, it was a very, very good fight, and obviously it didn't end up going his way, but that could have been different. So for me, when I talk about the takeover, my takeover is more of a slow process, because I am in no rush. I'm so young. I'm so new to the sport still, but I'm also so much further ahead of everybody in my mentality, my understanding, my ability. I just need to slow myself down so that I get to a point that it's just time to take over, and no one can say anything about it.
I know how much you love this sport, how much you watch this sport growing up. Is there like a hit list for you of guys? You know, you've got your Robbie Lawlers, like these legends that are still fighting. Is there a guy who you kind of almost out of respect that you have to fight one day, who you grew up watching?
Diaz. I'd love to fight Nate Diaz, purely for the fact that he's never in a boring fight. His fights are always entertaining. He talks a bit of shit. He gets fans entertained, and he doesn't get stopped. And I reckon I could stop him. Like, when I mean reckon, I'm fairly confident. Like, I'll say that, look, mate, I will stand and bang with you all night long and I'll end up knocking you out. Like, I'd love that. But we've got to get a bit more kind of power behind us first before we get that fight.
That would be an absolute quality spectacle. BT Sport were just asking who the best featherweight is of all time. This debate's been talked about a lot this week because of Volkanovski. Obviously, I'm just interested who you think Conor should come back and fight against. Volk wants that fight. Cejudo wants that fight. Of course, everybody wants that fight. But does Conor need to cement that legacy a bit? He's not going to go back down to 45, is he? But as someone who looks up to him, who do you want to see him fight when he comes back?
Conor will fight whoever he wants to fight when he comes back, and no one's going to tell him otherwise. Conor will do what he wants, or he's not going to come back, right? So whoever he wants, he'll get. Me sitting here thinking of who he's going to fight is just me being a fan, doing what everyone else on the planet is doing. Who is he going to fight? But he's hit up 3 different weight divisions. He's had Volkov talking about me, he's Charles Oliveira talking about him, and he's Kamaru Usman. Do you know any single other fighter in the world right now that has 3 different weight divisions, 3 different champions, speaking about someone who's technically currently still out injured, that isn't ready to fight yet? No, the dude's amazing at what he does. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to get people talking. He knows how to market himself. He's an absolute genius at this. Just to go back to what you were saying about BT, I would say the greatest featherweight of all time was Jose Aldo until featherweight McGregor came about. And then you've just got a completely different machine. I think featherweight McGregor is the best fighter the UFC has been graced with. Just when you take his debut to the UFC title, that was the best fighter the UFC has seen. He just did everything he said he did. He gave the minutes, he gave the rounds, he said how he was going to do it. And I think that Conor was unbeatable.
Yeah, it was incredible. And all right, then finally, we've got the guy holding the belt at welterweight. Is he the greatest welterweight of all time, or do you see him as fallible?
I don't think he's done enough right now to say he's the greatest welterweight of all time. George St. Pierre it's going to take a lot to knock that man off the top. It's not so much that Kamaru doesn't deserve to be in that conversation. It's more just how George did it. He out-wrestled wrestlers. He outstruck strikers. He wasn't afraid to do what he did. Go to where someone was strongest. And I feel like if Kamaru just bit down and went to fight more as opposed to just kind of to stay the champion, maybe the conversation would be different. But I don't think right now Kamaru is better than GSP.
Right, at the risk of going on really too long for you, I know you've got more interviews. Are you picking the round for this one?
No, I'm picking the minute. I think it'll be within 8 minutes. I think it's just a case of how long does it take him to get annoyed at what I'm doing? How long does it take me to frustrate him by just jabbing in the mouth, keeping him at distance? When he tries to take me down and I stuff it and I get back into the center of the cage, or maybe I take him down. You know what? We don't know. Maybe we don't know what the psychological warfare is going to be. But when he starts to get frustrated and he starts to have to mentally change his game and I can see those physical traits changing, that's when I'll beat him, because that's when people get desperate and that's when they overstretch or they overshoot or they make those little mistakes that they're not used to. And that's when I'll capitalize.
Maximum respect. It's great to have you in the UFC. Nice one, Ian.